Welcome back to Ruiniverse. I'm Andrew, and in this video I'm going to play the fourth of 4 games I played against my friend Jamie one particular night with our MetaZoo deck. So this is my constructed water deck that I did a deck video on, so you can check the link in the description for that. And Jamie's playing against one of the Nightfall precons. I believe he's playing the Spirit precon for this one, the purple one. And you can see here I've got my Oklahoma Octopus preloaded here. So this is kind of what inspired my deck build here. If you play it for 5 water aura, you can choose, instead of putting it into play, send it straight to the afterlife and get 8 tentacle tokens, which can attack right away, which is really fun. I enjoy that. And then the other card I've built around is Torrential River. I don't remember if that one will make an appearance or which exactly we get to see here as we play it out, but as a reminder, just like the other games in this series, we've been playing with all Terra active, or all fourth wall effects that are kind of true to us in real life as we're playing. So we are near a river, we are near a lake, we are playing at nighttime, and we're playing in the suburbs. So all those things will be in effect even if the Terra cards are not in play. And I will say that that is a big strength, or a big advantage for my deck to be in that situation, because I do use lakes and rivers quite a bit, to the point that I wanted to have them in my deck. I have those Terra cards in my deck, and just getting to play with them active all the time without having to search for them is great. Now, I didn't modify my deck. I felt like that would be... I wanted to test my deck's strengths out, and I didn't want to just, if I cleared up those card slots that I spent on those Terra and the Born from the Earth that I have, I didn't... in order to really take advantage of that situation, I could have done that, and my deck would have been even more powerful. But I did keep those Terra effective in my deck. They're redundant to the environment we're playing in, but I just felt like I wanted to get a better sense of what a real tournament environment would be like, so to speak. So Jamie has opened up with a familiar here on turn 2 and a black-eyed children. Let's see if we can get those up. Familiar is basically going to be able to give Jamie the option to reduce the cost of a spell. It can make little attacks, and both of these cards have the ghost symbol, which means I can't attack them directly. And the familiar can also attack for a little bit of damage. It can be 30, 20 plus the 10 extra damage from the Terra symbol you see on the left there that does plus 10 damage. Looks like I must not have any water babies, or I just didn't want to run them out into those. I probably would have played them. I must not have any water babies in my hand, which is a little bit odd. The water baby of Massacre Rock is a huge staple of my deck. Whenever they die, you get to draw a card. So I'll pull the water baby up next. But so the black-eyed children, since they're actually in play, they can attack for 20. The damage to casters is capped at 30, but because we're playing in the suburbs and at night, that's a 60 damage attack. But it only does up to 30 damage to non-casters, sorry. So he's got 3 black-eyed children there. And I'll pull up my water baby, even though I don't actually have one in play at this point. But yeah, they're really important. They only have 10 life points, but if they die, I get to bookmark a card or draw a card, as long as I don't have any non-water pages in play. They attack for 30, but because we have lakes and rivers active, that's already up to 50. And so yeah, it's a pretty strong card for the deck. I just love being able to replace it. And here I took damage from his turn 1 plays here, the familiar and the black-eyed children. Attack me down to 910, which you can see on my D12 and D10 percentile dial up there in the corner. So I'm pretty kind of far behind here. I played my 3rd aura, but I still haven't dealt any damage or played a card. So I don't remember if I have anything I could play. If I had water babies, I'd probably play them, because they absorb a little bit of damage and I just get to go deeper into my deck. On the other hand, Chaos Crystals and Mermaid Scales wouldn't make a ton of sense, because they would just get attacked and destroyed by Jamie's army there. Alright, Jamie's attacking me for 210 damage. Puts me down to 700. Whew! I haven't done anything yet. Guess is to get back at me, for I believe in game 2 I defeated him without taking any damage. So, alright, so here's a bookmark. I get to draw 2 cards. Oh, and I drew another bookmark, so I draw another 2 cards. So at the very least, I should be able to play my 4th water aura this turn, and then perhaps just pass back, setting up for a better turn 5. Oh, and here Jamie asks if he's the Grinch who stole Christmas. He's starting to feel a little bit guilty for being so far ahead, but I told him not to worry. I was going to be able to swing things back in my favor soon, and I think he's going to be less guilty for sure. He's going to go ahead and make it nighttime. Again, we are playing at night with nighttime effect, but Jamie also didn't take the Terra card out of his deck. So just a dead card in hand, may as well just put on the table. He's reduced the cost of his power-up red by 1 in order to put that in play. So it's going to give 100 life points and 100 attack to the black-eyed children he attached it to. So he's attacking me for a total of 280. So I'm down to 420 life points, and I have not yet played a card. All right, so let's see what I can do to come back from this situation, if at all, having not yet played a card. Of course, Flood the Earth would just wipe out all of his stuff. Certainly an option. Instead, I play Torrential River. Perhaps my favorite card. I mean, it's not foily. I'd love a foil version of this. I'm a big fan of the Manta Ray, even though it's not super good in my deck, and I really like the Octopus. But Torrential River is probably second after the Octopus, I'd say. So because we are playing with a River active, again, I did not even have to play the Terra. It gets to deal 30 damage immediately. I think I'm putting that on the power-up red Black-Eyed Children. And now until end of turn, whenever I contract a water page, I get to bookmark another card and deal 30 damage somewhere. So I played a Water Aura, put another 30 damage on the Black-Eyed Children, and bookmarked a card. Play Mermaid Scales, deal another 30 damage to the Black-Eyed Children, and draw another card. Play another Mermaid Scales, machine gun down that Black-Eyed Children. And Jamie made a comment here that I had to spend a lot of resources on that. But the thing about the Torrential River is every one of these cards I'm playing is dealing 30 damage and replacing itself. So I really haven't wasted a lot of resources. I mean, it was a lot of hit points to go through, but I'm still have just as many cards in hand as I had before, apart from that Torrential River itself. The only question is how many times can I do this before I have to end my turn. So another water page contracted lets me deal another 30 damage and draw another card, and this one just takes those Black-Eyed Children off the table. At this point, I'm probably... Oh, I get to play another Torrential River, so it's free if you've played another one this turn. It doesn't stack the effect, but it does get to do another 30 damage from the water, or from the fourth wall river effect, and because it's a water page contracted, the previous Torrential Rivers effect happens, and I deal another 30 damage and bookmark a card. And now I'm done. And I've wiped Jamie's field on my 5th turn, starting with nothing but 4 Water Aura. So now Jamie's going to be down several cards because he committed 5 of those cards to the board, and he did over 500 damage with them, but now they're all gone now. Okay, so he plays Spookster, which I think it has a come into play ability that isn't going to be relevant, but it's just another little beastie to have on the board. Can attack for a little bit of damage, and I can't attack it. So I pay 4 for Chessie, which is a very powerful card. I get to draw a card immediately when I play it. Play a second Chessie, and I get to draw another card, and they have huge attack. So because there is a lake active, each Chessie gets to do 10 damage plus 50 damage because of that lake symbol on the left, and plus 10 more damage for every other water page in place. So currently with just what is on the table there, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 water pages total, plus the 50 damage is 160 damage per Chessie attack. So I'm setting up for a good turn, and unfortunately this is a bit of a heartbreaking moment because the camera cuts out. So this is all the footage we get to see, and from here I just have to kind of tell you what happened because this is a big thing that I'm really disappointed didn't get to get on camera. But I don't remember exactly what Jamie does, but I know it's not hugely impactful. And I remember the number, which is that I'm going to get to attack for 925 damage this turn, or maybe it was 975. But yeah, Jamie goes from being at 1,000 to now being under 100. Actually, you know what? I do remember what Jamie does. He actually gets to possess, I think, both of my Chessies. And like I said, that's 160 damage, it's 320 damage. He possesses both of my Chessies and attacks me for 300. Which is pretty wild, 320, which would put me down to only 100 life points. So when he threw those down on the table, I was feeling pretty good, and then he put them down. And here, I'll go ahead and pull up possession here. But he really scared me because I knew my Chessies were big, and I wasn't sure if I was just dead because I was feeling pretty good before that. So fortunately, they did a ton of damage, but not lethal. So it's a huge swing. He got me from 420 down to 100. But I do get to take my next turn, and that is when I play the Oklahoma Octopus that I was talking about earlier, and I choose to send it to the afterlife, of course, in order to make 10 tentacle tokens, which of course power up the Chessies. So those Chessies go from 160 to 240 damage each, plus if I play another water aura and any other water pages that turn, they're going to get even bigger. And I also have in my hand Nightfall, which is going to give plus 25 damage to all beasties from the Nightfall expansion, which the tentacles are. Both of my Chessies are, so unlike the Chessie that I had popped, which is from the first set Cryptid Nation, my Chessies are Nightfall from the Water pre-constructed deck. And I don't remember if I have the Water Baby necessarily in play, but yeah, all the tentacles, that's like 280 damage, something like that, by itself. And then the Chessies, plus 25 damage each. So I end up attacking for over 900 damage in one attack. And Jamie does get another turn. I don't have the River of Time this time, so I do have to kind of hope that I can survive with only 100 life points and that Jamie doesn't have another possession or something like that. But I do end up closing out this game with a win after doing nothing for the first 4 turns of the game. So thanks for watching this series. If you missed any of the videos, go back and check it out. This deck worked really well for me on this particular night. Again, we were playing with rivers and lakes active all the time. I didn't have to worry about bringing out those Terra cards, which was a huge advantage for my deck. I feel like I got a lot more out of that than Jamie with the Knight and the Suburbs necessarily were on his side. We didn't really plan that or think about it too hard. We just kind of said, let's just play with what's around. Actually, I said, let's play with tournament rules because I wanted to see how my deck would work. But Jamie wanted to play MetaZoo, the real casual format. So maybe he'll play some more tournament-style rules with me at some point after he builds the deck, or if he gets sick of my my rivers and lakes always taking over the game. But I'm really glad I get to see at least some of the upside of the deck. I'm interested to see some more challenging decks and what the deck's weaknesses are going to be. I think Electric, the Lightning, is the most scary. The Quetzalcoatlus I don't have a lot of options for other than hoping that I can take it out with the Rushing River, similar to the way I took out the power-up red Black-Eyed Children with just a machine gun series of river damage triggers. But anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe so we get more subscribers. Let me know if you want more MetaZoo down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and bye.